The 32-minute promise, a specific number, beats a vague promise every single time. 32 minutes is more believable than a quick session, because specificity signals proof, not fluff. Most business owners don't fail at marketing because they lack information. They fail because they've been buried under 40-minute YouTube videos, recycled 10 tips listicles, and courses that never get finished. The brain trusts precision. When you say 32 minutes instead of 30, the audience assumes you actually timed it, tested it, and stripped away everything that didn't need to be there. This is the same psychology behind why expires in 3 hours and 17 minutes converts better than expires soon. The number becomes a contract with the viewer. Stay here, and I will deliver exactly what I promised. Nothing wasted. This keynote matters because most marketing speeches open with an apology disguised as humility. I'll try to cover a few things today. That kills attention instantly. Instead, open like a surgeon. A fixed time, a fixed outcome, a fixed promise. The moment you frame content as a transaction with a deadline, you turn passive viewers into active participants who feel like they're losing something if they leave. That tension, the fear of missing the fix, is what keeps a 32-minute video watched in full, shared in DMs, and rewatched with a notebook open. Marketing is math, not magic. Most people treat marketing like an art form. Mood boards, vibes, brand feel. That mindset is why 90% of small businesses waste money on ads that never return. Marketing is not creative expression. It's a controlled experiment with inputs and outputs. Every dollar spent should be traceable to a number: cost to acquire, lifetime value, conversion rate, churn. When you strip emotion out of marketing and replace it with measurement, you stop guessing and start engineering. This is the exact shift that separates six-figure business owners from eight-figure ones. The eight-figure ones stopped asking, "Does this feel right?" and started asking, "Does this number move?" A logo doesn't make you money. A headline that converts at 4% instead of 1% makes you money. The shock value here is necessary. Most people have spent years believing their business failed because they weren't creative enough, when in reality they failed because they never tracked a single metric that actually predicts revenue. Once you accept marketing as math, you stop fearing it, because math can be studied, tested, and repeated. Magic can't. This reframe alone removes the intimidation factor that keeps most entrepreneurs stuck outsourcing their growth to agencies who don't track numbers either. The attention economy has a toll booth. Nobody owes you their attention. Every scroll, every second someone stays on your content is a toll they're choosing to pay instead of paying it to 1,000 other options, fighting for the same 3 seconds. This is why weak hooks are the single most expensive mistake in marketing today. Not bad products, not bad pricing, weak hooks. If the first line doesn't create a question the brain needs answered, the wallet never opens because the eyes already left. The businesses winning right now aren't winning because they have better products. They're winning because they've mastered the toll booth. The first 3 seconds of a video, the first 5 words of an ad, the subject line of an email. This keynote should shock people out of the comfortable belief that good content eventually gets found. It doesn't. Content isn't a lottery ticket, it's a transaction. And if you don't pay the attention toll properly, the algorithm and the audience both reject you before your actual message is ever heard. This is why the entire speech that follows is engineered hook first. Because if the hook doesn't work, none of the marketing wisdom after it matters. Nobody sticks around to hear it. The value equation decides every yes or no. Every purchase decision, every follow, every click comes down to 4 invisible forces: how badly they want the outcome, how much they believe it'll actually happen, how long it takes to get there, and how much pain or effort stands in the way. Most marketers only talk about the product. That's the mistake. You don't sell a product, you sell a shift in these 4 forces. Increase the dream outcome size, increase believability with proof, shrink the time to result, and shrink the effort required. And the yes becomes almost involuntary. This is the exact formula that separates offers people politely ignore from offers people feel stupid saying no to. The shocking part most business owners never realize: you can sell the exact same product 2 different ways. One framed poorly across all 4 forces, and one engineered around them, and the engineered version can outsell the other by 5 to 10 times with 0 change to the actual product. Marketing isn't lying about what something is. It's revealing, amplifying, and removing friction around what's already true so the buyer's brain does the math for you before you even ask for the sale. Volume kills perfectionism. The single biggest lie sold to new entrepreneurs is that you need one perfect ad, one perfect post, one perfect launch. That belief has bankrupted more businesses than bad products ever have. Perfectionism isn't discipline. It's fear wearing a productivity costume. The operators who actually scale aren't the most talented. They're the ones who published 100 pieces of content while their competitor was still finalizing one. Every rep teaches you something. A whiteboard never can. Real audience reaction, real conversion data, real objections you didn't anticipate. This is uncomfortable to hear, because it removes the excuse of, "I'm not ready yet." Nobody is ready. Readiness is a myth, manufactured by people who've never actually launched anything. The fastest path to a winning marketing angle isn't more research, it's more attempts. Fast, cheap, and public. Test 5 hooks instead of perfecting one. Run 3 offers instead of debating one for a month. The market doesn't reward the best idea in your head, it rewards the idea that survived contact with real customers. Volume isn't sloppy. It's the only honest way to gather enough data to know what actually works, because your opinion about your marketing means nothing until strangers vote with their wallets. Retention is the real growth hack. Everyone obsesses over new customers while ignoring the ones already paying them. That's backwards, and it's expensive. Acquiring a new customer costs 5 to 7 times more than keeping an existing one. Yet most marketing budgets are almost entirely funneled into acquisition with nothing left for retention. This is the quiet killer of businesses that look like they're growing while they're actually leaking from the bottom, filling a bucket with holes and wondering why it never gets full. The real unlock is treating your existing customers like your most undermarketed audience. A single well-timed upsell, a re-engagement campaign, a loyalty mechanism. These move revenue faster than any new ad campaign because trust is already built. The shocking truth, most businesses could double profit without a single new customer, just by fixing retention and increasing frequency and order value from people who already said yes once. Chasing new customers while ignoring current ones is like proposing to strangers on the street while ignoring the person you're already married to. Growth isn't only about getting more people in the door, it's about making sure the door doesn't have a hole cut into the back wall. What if everything you've been told about marketing is the exact reason your business is stuck? What if the ads aren't working not because the product is bad, but because you've been solving the wrong problem for 3 years straight? Sit down, because in the next 32 minutes, I am going to take apart your marketing piece by piece, and by the end you are either going to feel embarrassed by how simple the fix was, or relieved that it was never your fault to begin with, it was your information.
Here's the first truth nobody wants to say out loud. Your marketing isn't underperforming because you're not creative enough. It's underperforming because you've been treating it like art when it's actually math. You don't need a better logo. You don't need a rebrand. You need a number that moves. Cost to acquire a customer, lifetime value of that customer, conversion rate on your offer page. If you can't recite these 3 numbers right now, you don't have a marketing problem, you have a measurement problem. And no amount of creativity fixes a system you're not even tracking.
Second truth, and this one stings, nobody owes you their attention. Not your followers, not your email list, not the stranger scrolling past your ad at 11 p.m. Every single piece of content you put out is standing in a toll booth, and if the first 3 seconds don't create a question their brain needs answered, they don't pay the toll. They scroll past you like you never existed. This is why weak hooks are the most expensive mistake in business today. Not bad pricing, not bad products, weak hooks. You could have the cure for cancer, and if your headline is boring, nobody will ever find out. Now let's talk about why your offer isn't converting, because it's never about the product, it's about 4 invisible forces stacked in the customer's head. How badly do they want this outcome? How much do they believe you can actually deliver it? How long until they see results? How much pain stands between them and that result? Most business owners only sell the product. Winners sell the shift in those 4 forces. Same product, same price, same features, reposition those 4 forces, and you can 5x your sales without changing a single thing about what you're actually selling. That's not manipulation. That's clarity. You are simply revealing what was already true and removing the friction that was hiding it. Here's where most people quit before they even start. Perfectionism. You are sitting on 3 ad ideas, 5 hooks, 2 offers, refusing to launch any of them because none of them feel ready. Let me save you 2 years of your life. Ready is a myth. Nobody is ready. The operators scaling past you right now aren't smarter. They're not more talented. They simply published 100 pieces of content while you were still finalizing one. Every rep you skip is data you'll never have. Stop debating your marketing in your head and start testing it in the market, because the market is the only opinion that has ever mattered. And finally, while you're out there chasing new customers, bleeding your budget dry on cold traffic, you are ignoring the people who already said yes to you. It costs 5 to 7 times more to win a stranger than to sell again to someone who already trusts you. You are filling a bucket with a hole cut straight through the bottom and wondering why growth feels impossible. Fix retention, fix frequency, fix your follow-up sequence. You could double your profit this year without a single new customer just by finally paying attention to the ones you already have. So here's what 32 minutes actually bought you today. Not a hack, not a trend, a mirror. Your marketing was never broken because you lacked talent. It was broken because you were solving the wrong problem, chasing perfection instead of volume, chasing strangers instead of loyalty, chasing feelings instead of numbers. Fix the math, fix the hook, fix the offer, fix the retention, and watch what happens when your business finally starts running on evidence instead of hope. This entire episode comes down to one uncomfortable but freeing truth. Your marketing was never missing magic, it was missing structure. The businesses winning right now aren't the ones with the biggest budgets or the flashiest branding. They're the ones who treat every hook, every offer, and every follow-up as a measurable system instead of a hopeful guess. You now have 6 principles that don't require more money, more time, or more luck. They require a decision to stop guessing and start engineering. The gap between where your business is today and where it could be in 90 days isn't talent, it's application. Everything shared in these 32 minutes is useless the moment this video ends, unless you take one idea, just one, and put it to work before tomorrow. That's the difference between someone who watches content and someone who scales a business. What if I told you that your business isn't failing because of the economy, because of competition, or because the market is too saturated? What if it's failing because of one hook, one offer, and one follow-up sequence you've been ignoring for years? Right now, somewhere, someone with a worse product than yours is outselling you, not because they're smarter, not because they got lucky, but because they understood 4 things about marketing that nobody ever taught you. And in the next 32 minutes, I'm not going to motivate you. I'm not going to inspire you with a quote. I'm going to hand you the exact math, the numbers, the psychology, the sequence that took businesses from invisible to unstoppable. If you've ever launched something and heard silence instead of sales, this is the moment that silence ends. Don't touch that scroll button. What you're about to hear will either save your business or save you 2 years of wasted ad spend finding this out the hard way.